All right, guys. I was going to ted the other field first and then the one at the house because this is a lot thinner. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and ted this one first because the sooner I get that fluffed up and drying, I'm hoping I might be able to bale some of this today before I go over to Dad's. And I mean, if not, then it is what it is. It ain't baling time. That's only gonna add probably 30 minutes or an hour to my day of baling. But if I can get that baled and done and out of the way, then it's that much I don't have to mess with. I can just focus on this field over here. But so I'm gonna go ahead and ted this first. But look at this. See how wet the tire is there. All right, guys, so we got that one done. Just shut the valve off on the tedder. That field's done. We're getting ready to head down the road to the east field. And then I did try to cut this right across the road. So I ted that. You'll notice that I didn't cut all of it because I got out there and it was pretty soft in a lot of places. So it needs some time to dry. It's always that way with a new planting when you work it up really good like I do. It's always soft that first year, so you gotta really be careful when you get out there. Alright, now I'm gonna ted this. This is actually, just going by the sound of it, me walking in it, sounds really dry. I say really, I don't mean like it's too dry, I just mean it's drier than what I'm thinking it would have been. It's still pretty wet down under there though. Take a look at this. So we're dry on top. Flip some over. Oh yeah, she's still, look at that green stuff under there. She's still green down in there. Definitely needs tedded. Job it's doing here. Again, the second time over it windrows a little bit more, but it's still fluffing it, picking it up. You got some greener stuff here on top. It's fluffed up so the air can blow through it. So that's going to get some drying. About another 10 minutes, I'll be done tedding this probably. Gonna head up and get ready to rake. Let's get this finished up so we can get to drying. See how Dad's doing. Hooked on a feeling. Right. All right, guys, I got one more pass here and I gotta do my ends. This is all we got left right here, guys. I gotta get the cylinder back on the rake, and then we'll be ready to hook it up and check it out and be ready to roll. And Daddy-O is headed out with the tedder. And we had some Burger King. Dad got some while he's going through town. I am going to take this cylinder and get it on the rake and get the rake hooked up and get it up here and just kind of check it over, and then it'll be ready to go once the hay's ready. And while I'm letting it dry a little bit, I'm going to get the baler out of the barn and kind of go through it. I'll grease the baler, and then it'll just be another waiting game like it always is. It's a hurry up and wait, you know. You wait and wait and wait, and then it's go time, and then you go for a little bit, and then it's past go time, and the dew starts setting in, and we have a very tight window here, especially this time of year. Luckily, this is some of the best weather we've ever had for drying, and it still isn't perfect. It's still somewhat high humidity. I'm sure it's probably, when I was in there earlier, it was in the 60s. I think it might be up in the 70% humidity range. All right, guys, I can't take it anymore. I'm low enough on oil that I can't even lift the rake. So I am taking my couplings off. We're gonna run uptown. I'm gonna get some new couplings. I'm gonna get some oil. I've got some of my hoses in the truck here, and I'm gonna get another set of flat face couplers. So while I'm up there, I'm gonna get oil. I'm gonna get the couplers for this. I'm gonna get couplers for that. I'm going to get ends if I need them. Whatever I need for this, as well as to make the grapple and the squeeze work on Dad's tractor. So it's just so frustrating, I tell you. And I don't understand why. I've replaced seals in this thing. I don't know if this is some kind of metric garbage because it's a Deutz or something. I don't know. But I'm taking those off. I know they aren't going to have any that'll fit back in these. It's just going to have to be what it'll be. As long as they'll seal, that's all I care. We are headed to Royal Brass. We're home. We got oil. We got fittings. Stuff's expensive. They actually had the fitting. This is a I don't know what the correct terminology is for this, but it's it's got a taper here. It's almost like similar to a type of flare, but it's not a flare. You'll be able to see this taper a lot better. See this taper here? This kind of slips onto that taper, and then this nut just tightens it down. But the guy at the hydraulic shop said this is really common in Germany. That's pretty well all they use in Germany. So any of you out there in Germany, let me know if that's common. It's very not common here, but I'm sure it's probably other parts of the world, not just Germany. That's probably just what came to his mind. But this is on a Deutz tractor, so it makes sense that it would be something European. They're not spraying. Whoop, whoop. They did fit in the holes, and I kind of used the hole to open it up, so that worked out good. Pull this thing up over there. We're going to check the hay. If the hay is ready, I may rake. I checked. Hey, Ginge. Checked the hay, and it's doing pretty good. I could, if I raked it right now, I think I could bale it today. However, if Dad's baling, I haven't been able to get a hold of him, but if Dad's baling, I'm not going to worry about this. I can get that easily tomorrow. I'd rather focus on Dad's and get his done today. So we'll see. I'm gonna get me a drink here real quick, and then I'm gonna go get the skid steer and the squeeze and get that stuff all ready and head over to Dad's. And I'll catch up with you guys here in just a little bit after I get my drink. Dad, he's checking it right now. He's gonna try baling a few, see how it feels. He said it does feel a little bit raggy. think this stuff will bale. The only thing I might have a problem with is in this low spot right in here. There's some clover. Then obviously at that end I won't bale it. So, but I think this will bale today. Which there ain't gonna be much here. 100 bales maybe. It's really thin. But one thing, see all my rows, that's all orchard grass. All orchard grass. So if I can get some fertilizer on here, I really think we're gonna have a really good second cutting, because I got a good stand of orchard grass out there. It just needs a little. So a little pick me up. Man, those tracks sure do look good for being homemade, don't they? Man, she's a beaut. So I'm headed over to the east field. I'm just gonna see how that's dry. Honestly, I'm gonna say that there's not some, oh yeah, there's some green. There's some green right there. Other than stuff that's buried down in there, it's pretty dry. But you got that stuff in there. It'll do a lot of drying after I rake it. So that's gonna be my plan. I'll rake this over here tomorrow. We're gonna bale this right here now. We are going to see what our pressure is. We're gonna shoot right in there somewhere. We got our first bale tied, and it's, of course, it's gonna be a, you know, a junk bale. So we're gonna go there, and we won't worry about this bale. The next bale comes out, we'll check it, see what it weighs, how tight it is and all that good stuff, and we'll go from there. See what this one feels like down here. That bale feels pretty good, really. I'm gonna bale down and back and see how they feel. Baled this whole field except for the ends down there that I didn't rake, and these 3 windrows right here. I'm gonna right check these. If they're dry enough, we're gonna bale them. The good news is I actually have this sold out of the field. So, and it's actually my brother-in-law that's buying it, so I know that he's storing it, gonna be putting it in a good barn. And by that I mean it's not something that's super airtight. It's gonna make the hay go bad if it hasn't gone through the sweat yet. So it'll be perfectly fine. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bale this stuff here, at least down to the shade down there. This was my first bale. I'll get these strings off of it, I'll bale it, and then we'll be done with baling for the night. Look at how wet the tire is, guys. Look at that moisture. And we have 80 bales on the counter. So we baled 80 bales. We didn't rebale any. I'm going to get the skid steer unloaded, get the tracks off, dig out the grapple and the squeeze both, get them out here, see if there's anything that needs to be done, and just kind of prepare for tomorrow, because tomorrow and Friday, Thursday and Friday, it's go time. All right, guys, it's 92, 58% humidity right now. Feels like 98. And so earlier when I came in, it was 90, 94. This is May 11th. So that's pretty warm for here for this time of year. Usually we don't get those temperatures until June, July. But in the 50%, that's pretty low humidity actually. All right, I will catch you guys later.